Good evening. This is the December 14, 2016 meeting of the Auburn Conservation Commission. Are we live or being recorded?
Live.
This meeting is being broadcast live. It will also be recorded for further viewing at auburnguide.com. Before we begin tonight, I'm required to ask if anyone in the audience is recording this meeting. With everyone shaking their head then, the first item on tonight's agenda is a 7 o'clock public hearing. TAC Realty LLC request for determination for property located at 45 Sword Street, Auburn, Mass. Is there a motion open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed to vote?
Good evening,
Good
Scott
evening.
Jordan from Ecotech. Art Allen has a schedule conflict tonight, so he asked me to come in and fill in for him. Just a quick reminder of the project. So it's an RDA, request for determination of applicability, regarding the riverfront area on this property. He told me some or all of the commission has since the first hearing, gone out and looked at the property.
That's correct.
So they acknowledge there's, areas subject to jurisdiction, so they're requesting a positive determination with a finding on the riverfront area that it is degraded, lacking topsoil. So we have the photos and stuff of the topsoil, but again, I think you folks are...
We did. We went out there, it was probably about a month ago now, and after our last meeting, and we actually met the property owner and we walked the site with him. So, any questions from the board?
Who else went on that sidewalk? Anyone else?
Let's see, it was me
I was there.
and
I was
Louise
there.
I was not.
I was there.
and Tom.
Did you go?
Yes.
Oh, Tom. Great.
Okay. Any questions from the audience? All right. There being none, is there a motion to close?
Make a motion that we close the hearing.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed to vote. Thank you, Mr. Jordan. We
Thank
will
you.
promptly issue our decision tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Worth the trip, right?
We'll talk soon.
All right, thank you, bye-bye.
Thank you.
About 2 minutes. So in any event. Since we can jump around, and I'm inclined to do so, several of us went out to the site of the old McDonald's restaurant located at 813 Southbridge Street over the weekend. Ms. Conroy indicated that she received communication from Ms. Gravoski indicating that his client is looking for a certificate of compliance relative to an order of conditions that was issued back in 1977. Talk about a golden oldie.
Wow.
So, and miracle of miracles, Ms. Conroy was able to actually obtain the file.
You're so good.
So, I'll go to where I have it. So,
Right up.
in any event, I had an opportunity to look through the filing. As you would imagine, the forms were very different back then. They were all typed up. There is even a plan there. But this is a property that where the work had been done over 35 years ago. The wetland area is well established, and so based on my review of the file and based on our observation of the conditions at the site, I would request that we issue a certificate of compliance in connection with the original order of conditions that was issued back in June of 1977. So is there a motion?
Make a motion to issue a certificate of compliance for McDonald's at 813 Southbridge Street property?
Relating to the order of conditions from 1977?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's a vote.
Alrighty. Just want to say I was 8 back then.
I'm sorry?
Just want to say I was 8 years old back then.
I was in college.
Oh.
There's a gas station.
Oh, yeah, the guy making next door. I remember all that.
Correct. I had been
A
there.
long
Do you
time.
remember that? You have. No, I remember this gas station.
Just a compliance.
the gas station's application, and then
Today's date on it, where did I left
I'd
out?
only been
Way
involved
back
for
a
2 years then, and I was busy raising children. I didn't pay attention.
I actually have.
No?
So Sheila, here's the file.
Thank you.
Sorry, I got it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Probably great on the BJ's.
It doesn't look like it is. We use a special pen right on the dislocate that.
You get so
What is that say? Classic. And I honestly, I used to do calligraphy. Believe me. Yeah. Okay, original.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna teach Chris if he goes. I'm gonna teach Chris. You do calligraphy, Sean?
What's that?
You do calligraphy?
Yeah, I used to. You wouldn't know it though, huh?
I used to do it too. It's all
I
I
had a
was
book,
done it
you
and
know,
I kind of
it's
forget.
basically just copy the letters.
Yeah, I had all the.
Judging by his handwriting. No.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it. It's all right.
My husband
Got
does
too
his
busy
first,
to keep it up.
he gives the first grade as his first name. We're local C and Naples. So,
I think what they have to do is they have to do the signature to like 2 letters. You have to look at it as just
yeah,
like.
D Masters right there. Right, 'cause he goes D. And this is code. Prescriptions.
You want to do any of the minutes?
We can.
We didn't do what, 26?
We have minutes from October 26th and then from our meeting in November.
Did I actually see anything?
I need one for October.
I did too.
I took the 0%.
That's
You weren't here for November's, but you want this? Have you got October's?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Neither do you. Do you want October?
Yes, please.
Okay, there you go.
Let me see if I might have an extra. No, I got extra November's.
Not that good at proofreading. Mike's the attorney.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's nice we weren't sure.
I'll read the November one.
You can't vote on that though, 'cause you
I
weren't
know,
here.
yeah.
But I sent it just so you know.
Grammatical mistakes though.
Yeah. Huh?
You can correct grammatical mistakes
I'm
though.
missing words or.
Hey. Makes you think there's gonna be any.
No, just kidding.
Yeah.
We do the first October.
On page 2, under the 715 hearing for Lucier and Sons Construction, it would be the first paragraph. I'm sorry, the third paragraph starts with my name.
Yeah?
Michael Garland stated that several had visited the site. Several people? Think that might be important?
You never know.
When we say several people, you're talking about members of the Conservation Commission, yes?
Remember.
See, that's.
So the answer is, that is, it wasn't a trick question, Sheila. Several of us did go out to the site.
Yeah.
I think in fact, commissioners, yes, I know you were there.
I was there.
Members or
And I think Louise.
Louise was there too.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you are.
Right here.
So why don't you just say instead
Oh, that
of
was. okay,
stated that
sorry.
several visited, stated that some members visited the site. Can we do that?
Oh,
Okay.
sure, yeah.
Sometimes there's some commissioner that are like. They were big.
Yes.
The next paragraph would also start with my name. It says, I stated the work is outside the wetland area and felt satisfied to issue a negative determination. What that really should say is, was satisfied that a negative determination was applicable.
Okay.
on page 3. It's the third line, it's the 7:30 hearing. Third line from the end of that portion that begins a request to continue. It says a request to continue was received by Jillian Davies. It should say a request to continue was made by Jillian Davies.
Okay.
And then under the discussion of the use of pond water, it should read after, at the end of the first sentence, states that no permits are required.
Okay. Minor detail.
And then where it begins, that same section, Robert Emerald was ordered to stop, it should be cease and desist. And those are all the changes I have. Does anyone have any other changes?
For the chair, if I could make a motion that we accept the minutes as amended for October 26, 2016.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, vote. Okay, we have a couple more minutes. I think we have time to address, there was an issue with respect to 12 and 15 Upland Street here in Auburn. In November, I received an email from Larry Lamco. And apparently there was a question that arose relating to property that was deeded to the town in the area of 12 and 15 Upland Street back in 1980 or thereabouts. And Ms. Lanico was under the impression that the deed should also make reference to both the Conservation Commission and the Historical Commission. And apparently Ron Prouty back in I think the meeting from, would have been the Springtown meeting from 1980, talked about this land being held in stewardship by the Conservation Commission and the Historical Commission. And I wasn't aware of that until Ms. Lanico brought it to my attention. So she, in her email, she inquired about whether or not a corrective deed could be filed to reflect what Mr. Prouty had said in his comments back in 1980. At that point, I then forwarded the email and really kind of addressed the issue to Julie Jacobson, who in turn referred this to our town council, Robert Hannigan of Worcester. Attorney Hennigan researched the issue and on December 6th sent a letter to Ms. Jacobson, and there's a copy in your packet relating to that issue. And to make a long story short, Attorney Hennigan's opinion that the property was properly deeded to the town of Auburn, consistent with the special town meeting vote, which authorized the purchase of that property, and that even though there may have been some discussion at the town meeting relating to certain covenants or restrictions, that was never reflected in the deed transferring ownership of the property to the town of Auburn. And so at this point, I think the issue has been addressed, I think, by town council. I mean, I looked at the meeting minutes from 1980, and as you know, I mean, our authority is actually limited by statute to enforcement of the Wetlands Protection Act, the Rivers Act, and any bylaws and regulations that the town has issued with respect to wetlands. So I believe the issue, at least from our point of view, has been resolved. And I'll leave it at that. I don't know if any members of the commission had any questions about it.
I think Laurie Lancio and possibly this Sue Ward, I'm sorry, I thought, you know, they're not gonna, I told them it would be 7:30 or after, probably before we discuss that. but-
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I
If
didn't,
they come in,
I'm
we can
sorry, I was
certainly
thinking
talk.
they were here, I don't know what I was thinking.
All right.
They aren't here, so.
Okay, we can, you know, pick up the discussion again.
Okay, then.
Is there anyone here on that issue? Okay, all right, very good. So again, if they do come in, and I wasn't aware of the fact that
Yeah.
they were, you were told them to come in after
I'm sorry.
7:30, we can pick it up at that point.
Okay.
Okay, the next item on our agenda is a 7:15 public hearing. Eastland Partners, Inc., a notice of intent for the construction of, well, of a roadway and installation of utilities for property located on Blaker Street here in Auburn. Is there a motion open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye, opposed to vote. Please come on up. And can you identify yourself for the record, please?
Sure, my name's Chad Boardman, B-O-A-R-D-M-A-N, with Eastland Partners out of Natick. And I met a few of you during a site walk last Saturday out at the site off of Blaker Street, primarily in the area where the infiltration basins would be.
Yes.
And I discussed at that time that we were in the process of redesigning the project. Before was had the bridge crossing into Oxford. We recently pulled that out, and we recently, as of last night, submitted a new definitive with a road of approximately 740 feet, cul-de-sac, which pulled the western section of the road out of the buffer zone. So what you see there was previous, and let me kind of show you what's here now. I've got two plans, so I can kind of share these out here.
Yeah, so just again for the record, what you're proposing is substantially reduced from what had previously been submitted.
That's correct, yeah.
I'm not,
Yeah, give them that one, we'll take this one.
Sure.
Okay,
all right.
all right, we're done.
Okay, can you just, explain, the well impacts that will result from this construction?
Sure.
Actually, we can pull this
That's all right. It's pretty much the same area. The only area in the front is two isolated wetlands, and where the infiltration basins, which will go, are inside the buffer zone of partially the basin, the emergency overflow as well as the outfall goes into the existing wetlands that are associated down on that lower section of the wetlands, which we walked the other day. All the other sites are out of all the lots, the 4 lots are out of the buffer zone.
Okay.
And Graves Engineering is currently reviewing the stormwater basin that was done previously.
Right.
And Gary Air made this plan in reference to their comments, which I'm not too sure if Matt CC'd this around yet, but that's what follows. So a lot of the adjustments to the stormwater basin has been applied to actually this plan here. Maintenance, ground soil tests, and some clarification on the outfall inverts and miscellaneous things like that.
Okay.
I think a fence around the pond and certain things like that
Right.
called out.
So how were things left with the planning board?
Planning board, since that review we just filed last night, and Gary Air's response is back to Graves with this plan. We
Okay.
continued it to the 24th of the month to allow enough time for Graves to review, possibly come back to us, revise one more time with comments, and then get back onto the board around the 24th, and we can obviously do the same here, because
Okay.
there's
Well,
a lot to digest all at the same time.
Right, and I was going to suggest, based on that, that sort of timetable, our next meeting is going to be on January 11th. I presume you don't have an objection continuing this until January 11th?
That's correct, yes. I'd like to continue it till
I think you'd be going to the planning board probably around the 27th if you're having another meeting then.
Yes, it's, I think, 24th. They
24th is a Saturday.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Saturday, that's Christmas Eve.
So
Oh,
maybe
no, sorry,
Tuesday.
January 24th.
Oh, January.
Next year already.
All right.
Well, in that case, perhaps maybe you want to come and see us on the 25th.
I think so, yeah, because I'll have, even if I come and nothing's done, at least I can say where we're at,
Yeah, that
and if
would
you
be
have any
good.
questions.
Okay,
And I'll at least show you updated revisions, going back and forth, so then you know exactly where we are.
all right.
So I think I'll just continue to come to the meetings until everything's hatched out.
Okay. Well, why don't we do this? Why don't, my suggestion would be that we continue to our second meeting in January, which is January 25th. That would be
Okay.
the day after the
Okay, that would be right after? Okay.
If you don't mind making the trip from Natick
Okay.
to Auburn, you know.
Well, I'm always out here.
Good, that was the right answer. Do we have anything scheduled for the 25th?
Nothing yet.
Okay, so why don't we, Mr. Bourne, we'll put you on for 7 p.m. on the 25th?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
That'd be great.
So is there a motion to continue the public hearing?
I make a motion that we continue the public hearing to January 25th
At 7 p.m.?
at 7 p.m.
Okay.
for this project.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed to vote? Thank you very much.
Great, thanks a lot.
We'll see you.
Any questions come up, feel free to reach out.
All right.
If you get your phone number, I'm sure Matt has it, but I'd like to
This is
take
the,
it.
508
Yeah?
294
I'm sorry.
We have a protocol question.
yes.
We're here for this specific.
I beg
we
your
need
pardon.
to.
I beg your pardon. Well, ma'am, the hearing's being continued, but I'll be, by all means, if you have any questions, please feel free.
I just wanted to let you know that I've been in touch with the Natural Heritage and Endangered Species Program. I'm Eileen Massard at 11 Lake
Okay.
Street. And about 6 or 7 years ago, when a project similar to this was proposed, they came out to look at the site because I had lady slippers on the property. The lady slippers I had on the property were not the endangered lady slipper species, but they were protected, so there would be some problems in moving those plants.
Okay?
But since that happened, they had put a newspaper article about the lady slippers in it, and one of the neighbors on Albert Street gave me her pictures of lady slippers, which are the endangered species, which she said was taken on the property. She has since died, though.
Okay.
I do have her pictures, but I just want to let you know that that is a concern, as well as box turtles.
Well, ma'am, do you know where the lady slippers are located in relation to where this project is
Just, she
being
said some
proposed?
pine trees up, I have no idea. She just gave it to me because she has since passed away, and she knew that I had a love of the flower.
Okay, and with respect to the box trails, do you know where they were located?
Well, the only one I've seen was run over in the road at the intersection of Tinker Hill and Laker Street.
Okay,
In the road. And I didn't take a picture of that because it was a smushed dead
all right.
turtle.
Well, ma'am, just by way of, this is in the review phase right now.
Right.
We'll be meeting again on January 25th.
I'll be
If you have any additional information that you want to submit, feel free to send it to Ms. Conroy here at the town hall, and we'll be happy to review it. I would imagine, because not all of us were able to go out to the property on our site walk, that we will go out there again. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other comments from the audience? Okay. All right. Motions, did we vote on
We
that?
already did the
Okay,
motion.
Mr. Borman, you're all set? Thank you for
Great.
coming in.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's all continued. It's continued.
Is it too late to paperwork on about wetlands? You would not saw the wetlands, right?
Yeah.
We did, oh, yes.
Because when we get rain, that road is washed out. And I know pictures were sent to town planning board on that. So any other additional water that goes into that is going to be an issue for that road passability.
Okay.
The, yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
Is it for condos or rentals, units, up there that they're putting into houses, four houses?
No, I think they're houses.
Yeah, there's four houses.
Just 4 houses.
lots.
Okay, just 4
Actually,
houses, okay.
originally it is public record that he has stated he's going to build about 300 apartments up there. And then over throughout the planning boards, it continuously changes.
Well, ma'am, I understand that. What we've been provided today is a significantly reduced plan. Apparently, it's been entirely taken out of the town of Oxford.
Yes.
And this plan, even the plan for Auburn, has been substantially scaled back. So we're mindful of that. They'll be reviewed by Graves Engineering, and again, we'll have a further hearing on January 25th. If you want to come, feel free.
At what point do we see, the abutters see those plans? I mean, when are they available?
Anytime you can come right to
It's
my
a
office.
public record.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, I was just gonna say that too. We can only, like, with this being outside of the wetland, that's our jurisdiction part. If it's the building part, you may wanna go to the building.
Well, the planning board
The
meeting,
planning
I
board
think that would be
meeting.
your.
Okay, all right.
Sure.
So that's gonna be on the
Sure.
24th, and then it's the 25th. So ours ends outside of the 100-foot buffer.
No, it's one about the endangered animal species, anything like that.
Ms. Maria?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm over at Oak Up and 14 Baker Street.
I'm sorry, Maria.
And what I wanted to know is if we happen to, see one of these things, like she did see one on the road at one point, do we call you or something?
Well, ma'am, you should document it. And
Yeah.
you should-
And if we happen to see it, because turtles cross there all the time.
Right.
There could be a crossing now, though.
Not
No,
now,
it won't be
it's
this
still-
spring,
Well,
so
really, the-
we've been there all our lives, so we've
Yeah.
seen, I mean, I have, and I've seen all kinds of animals. I know they only protect endangered.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for reopening it.
Our pleasure.
Good night.
Through the chair, Mr. Kowalski.
Oh, just a small thing.
Comments?
If there is a rare species, there's Natural Heritage Endangered Species Program have a form. It's called Species Observation Form.
Yep.
So go to Fish and Wildlife, they'll have a form, fill out the form.
Okay.
Oh, I love that.
All right.
Oh, you did it? You've been on it?
Do you want to take this off? Or you want me
It's
to?
not just, but you don't want to be, up with old Christmas, but,
That was a question. Do the species, do we handle that?
How we have your,
Yeah, yeah.
good.
Yeah, please. I mean, I understand.
I understand.
they lived there the whole life, they're like, it was, they never lived here, it was still, it was their place, you know? They ripped it all down, but there's still so much lives up there.
There is.
Oh, here. I have an elastic zipper on it.
Oh, great.
Gonna write hold on this.
Expensive. Right, right. No, it's too expensive. I already returned that years ago. Oh, yeah. That's why
You're talking about the reserve? No, they ran out of money. It was
expensive.
capitalized.
Oh, okay. All right.
About a minute.
Okay. So that's the reason why they cut it back.
Well, no, I think the property was conveyed to someone else.
Yeah.
And I think they got resistance or pushback from the town of Oxford.
Okay.
So, in any event, I don't know all the details.
I'm glad for Mr. Kowalski, because I don't know anything about box turtle.
Thanks.
Species like that, and that's honestly not our jurisdiction, I don't believe.
So tough because
Yeah. You want to be fair.
they're saying they don't want any more houses there, but they've already run over a turtle.
If they went to the planning board last night, Michelle, they would have saw that there was 4 house lots.
Right.
They, you know, they
Right.
came here like, oh, they're building.
Yeah, I know. It's tough. You know, well, you've seen our house. You've seen our house, right?
Some people like, who knows?
Well, On the other side of the lake, there was a family that was well connected that wanted to build houses on the top of the ridge where the woods are at the top, that would connect
The interest rate's a
actual
quarter point today, so.
Rochdale Street around the other side to connect water. So our street has sewer water, and they were gonna connect it around to build the house. I can remember like thinking originally how horrified I was by that because it was going to endanger everything. But they're clearing those woods out there now as it is. And I think that if we would have done it the right way and put like a few houses up there, it would have actually made the roads better so it wasn't actually detrimental. Like if you do it in the right manner, it's not always the worst thing that could happen because that road is like washing out.
All right. The next item on tonight's agenda is a 7:30 public hearing. The applicant is Metro West Builders, a notice of intent for the construction of a single-family home at 6 Whitetail Run. Is there a motion open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote.
Yep.
Good evening.
How you doing?
Good. Can you identify yourself, please?
Yep, Jason Dubois from DC Engineering and Survey.
Okay. Very good. Have at it.
Here to represent Crescent Builders. The property is 6 Whitetail Run. Is there going to be a plan on the screen or no?
No.
I didn't get a plan, just thought they had one on the screen.
Probably have.
I was going right here.
Yeah. Basically, it's a single-family house off of Whitetail Run. It's that subdivision that Paul Gem owns.
Right.
This is the one lot on the property that requires a small wetland crossing to get into the property.
All right.
There's 350 feet of fill, which is about, I don't know, maybe 60, 80 feet into the driveway. We have a 36-inch culvert going underneath that through the middle of the wetland area, and we're replicating 2-to-1, 700 square feet adjacent to the wetland, pretty close to where we're filling. We do have the replication, notes, details on the plan. There's an E1 pump as well with a force main that'll go along the driveway within the same crossing area. Private well located in the front of the house. The wetland basically runs along the western portion of the property and also along the front, the northerly portion. We do have the 25-foot no disturbance shown, and we are out of that. The 100-foot buffer zone basically, incorporates almost the entire lot. So the 25 no disturbance is only touched, in the crossing area.
Mm-hmm.
The house and everything is out of it.
Right.
The property is just under an acre in size.
Okay, so it's a level lot. It's been treed.
I'm sorry?
Has the lot been treed?
I'm not positive or not if it has been.
All right, because we weren't able to go out there over the weekend, but I think we would like to take a look.
Okay.
I don't know what your timetable is.
Yep. Whenever commissioner wants to go, I can.
Okay.
There's no DEP number yet either, so.
All right. So if I can make a suggestion, why don't we continue this to the our first meeting in January?
Okay.
Do we have anything on?
The 11th, I don't believe we have anything yet.
Okay, so 7 p.m. And then, of course, it is the holidays.
Yep.
I cannot do it this Saturday. I can do it New Year's Eve, which would be December 31st. I can't speak for anyone else. I don't know if that's convenient for you. If it's not,
Yeah, that would work.
I can do New Year's Eve day.
okay.
Is that a Saturday?
It is a Saturday. So,
I actually can, I think. I'm gonna be here.
I'm shocked.
So, isn't it? I'm not going anywhere until my house is finished. I'm not going anywhere else until my house is finished,
Tuesday,
so.
9 o'clock?
9 o'clock in the morning?
Talk to
So that's
Santa.
12:31
Yeah.
at 12:31 at what time?
At 9 a.m.
9.
And then the next hearing is January 11th?
That's
That's
correct.
correct.
Okay.
111 at 7.
7?
Okay, and you're agreeable to that, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a motion to continue?
I move to continue this hearing for 6 Whitetail Run until January 11th at 7 p.m.
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's a vote. All right, so we'll see you on
Sure.
New Year's Eve.
I might not be able to make that one.
Okay.
I think
we've added this.
Yeah, last day of the year.
Yeah, Eric's not even doing the
I'll guarantee
skiing
it's
out
gonna be
west
warmer
this
than
year.
It's gonna be this Saturday.
How could he?
I know, there's a lot of stuff going on.
We do that today. See what's here. This is so true.
All right.
What's today's date on that, right?
Yeah, that's right, yep.
okay.
That's great, thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, we'll see you next month. Have a nice Christmas.
You too. Thanks.
New Year's. Okay. Oh, shoot, I didn't have them sign the continuance form, I have to. Yeah.
It's always good.
Eastland, I didn't have them sign the continuance.
So, Mr. Grabowski?
Yes.
I just, before you arrived, we actually voted to issue a certificate of compliance on the 1977 order conditions
Thank you.
for McDonald's.
We appreciate
Yeah.
that very
Okay.
much, thank you.
You're right, you're welcome.
And there was the other, I believe Sheila might have brought to your attention, there was the amendment. When we originally filed for Diamond Chevrolet, we had added into the public notice that we were asking for an amendment to the order, the existing order. And that was because when Margaret originally looked at the wetland up there and then Jillian looked at the replication area, to go back to the original 2011 order, there was around 3,800 square feet was put in by Ecotech to have wetlands adjacent to the bank, which was going down through a couple of house lots, or house lot. I looked at the Ecotech report, it showed that there was no hydric soils along that channel that went through the yards, so there was never any wetland loss, but there was bank loss. If you recall.
I do recall, and I also recall that half of the wetland adjacent to that parking lot and where the road is going to be going in did take, and the other half didn't take.
Right, yes, sir.
So I guess one question I have is, what's going to happen with that portion of the wetland that did take?
The whole thing is being revised into the two wetland replications which
Okay.
you just
Correct.
approved.
Correct.
But in order to clean up the old order, the old order called for this 3,800 square feet plus or minus of lost wetland. In the end, it was 2,100 square feet that didn't work and 1,800 that did,
Right.
plus or minus.
Correct.
In order to have the new order comply with all regulations, we had to ask for an amendment to change the old order, the 11 order, which is still valid, and remove that 2,100 square feet from the order. Otherwise, if you look at all the cumulative wetland replications, and I use that term replication loosely because it was wetland creation and not wetland replication. Replication is when you lose a wetland.
Right.
In the case of the 575 that was lost and was required as a slap on a, if I could just use that term lightly, in '07 it was 575 square feet that there was a violation in '07. That certificate of compliance has never been issued, and that 575 was carrying along
Right.
through this project into
Right.
the 2011 order, and then and presently we brought it into our 2016 order. We added 575 there, 1801, which was wetland replication that did work under the 2011 order, which Margaret looked at, okay, yeah, and we had performance in. But in order to make the old order clean or in synchrony with the new order, we can't still have the old order saying 30, let's just say 3,800 square feet
You need
of
to back
wetland.
out the 2,100. that-
We got to back away from, and that's why we filed for the amendment at the beginning of this process.
Yeah,
and
together.
and Sheila made sure, she goes, you know, you've got to have a public hearing for that amendment, and we did, and we looked about a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
and sure enough, in the legal notice, it did call that we were running a notice of, notice of intent for this presently now, I filed it in April, I think, so 2016 project, and an amendment to the original, the 11 order, which is still valid. That amendment had two there was two amendments. One was to get rid of the 2,100 square feet of wetland that didn't function, that wasn't lost to begin with. And the other one was down below, to the north of the Cadillac dealership, and Jillian Davies concurred with this, and she wrote it in her report. I outlined it here, that there, when we walk down there, it's called wetland flags AA1 to AA9 and BA1 to BA5, which doesn't mean a lot to you, but down below in that hole, in that valley, right before you get to 395, originally through the Cullinan Engineering 07 plan, Cullinan had flagged the AA1 to AA9. It was in a hole. I've seen it happen before. Even Waterman asked me, Glenn, you're right, and both Cullinan's consultants originally and HS&T's were wrong. Well, they were. It was down in a hole. It lacked wetland vegetation, but it clearly lacked hydric soils. The hydric soils were 30 inches down plus, and we proved that through our soil borings. Jillian had written that I've reviewed these lines, and the applicant is requesting an amendment. This is from her June 8 report of this year, amendment to existing order with reference to the portion of the wetland delineation that is located directly west of it's brief, I-395 exit 6B Cloverleaf and southeast of the Cadillac. Showroom, AA1 to AA9 and BA1 to BA5. The BSC has reviewed the information provided by the applicant's soil evaluator Paula Thompson and wetland scientist Glenn Kravosky, and has assessed both soils and vegetation in the field while on site with Glenn Kravosky. BSC concurs that the area in question does not meet delineation criteria as outlined in Mass Department of Environmental Protection Handbook, Bordering Vegetated Wetlands, for BVW, and should not be flagged as such. The area does not contain, and it does contain, an intermittent channel. So we have the flow path. I don't know what they were looking at down there, but I've had this case in a few other instances where it was so irrelevant what was down in that hole because nobody was getting down in that hole with their work. There was no bylaw that said you couldn't work to within 2 feet of the wetland at the time.
Right.
So they flagged something in a hole adjacent to a channel. It's bright soils, it's black cherries. I outlined everything in my request to amend the different species of plants. She looked at it. And the reason why if that was called a wetland down in the hole, it's where we're making wetlands. We have to take that land down 2.5 feet to get it within 1 foot of the water table to make it function as a true wetland.
Right.
So in order for us to put a wetland there, it can't be called a wetland already, because then we'd be putting a wetland on a wetland, and there isn't a wetland on a wetland yet. So we're digging the area down, and so to clean that order and make it totally correct with the new order, we need to put an amendment at the registry, record it. Then if anybody's looking at this in the future, or if even DEP looks at this new order you issued and starts looking at the numbers, they're going to say, you're short by 2,100, and it looks like you're putting a wetland on top of a wetland.
Okay.
So those are the two amendments we're asking for.
Remember, you're seeking those to the 2011 order.
Yes, we are. We actually referenced it as
980676.
0676.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I wrote a little short blurb that could be, to make it clear to anybody reading the amendment, as an attachment, just like you attached the 2-year monitoring to your last order. If you chose to look at that, I think it's clear to anyone in the future why the amendment was put in there.
Okay.
And what we will do is actually record the amendment 5 minutes before we record the new order, just so that things are correct earlier, and then we get the new 16 going on top. So in sequence, it's you don't have the wetlands there. Okay, now you're making a wetland.
Very good.
Okay, so I made it clean.
All right, we got it.
I thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good Christmas season. I hope it's all right to say that to everybody. If not, good holiday season. Merry Christmas.
Thank you,
very
Glenn.
much.
Bye.
Brook Street.
On a side note, we're actually looking at exotic invasive tomorrow. We're not going to do anything if the ground is totally frozen, but we're actually identifying where we're working, showing the limits in that RDA that we received from you, allowing for invasive removal before we get going. So next year, most likely the work will occur.
on the rest of the work, but we can start some larger invasive now, as long as the ground's not frozen where these are, normally it isn't, because it's down in the hole. We'll look at it
Okay,
with the contractor, and then we'll take appropriate action. If
Very
it's
good.
too frozen, we'll take on in the spring. If it's good enough now, we'll get going, and we'll inform you with a letter.
Okay.
Because it didn't require much, it was a negative determination. We won't put any machinery in the area, as we said. We just did one in Framingham with long 8-ton straps with cinches with the machine in the upland, and we actually just pull these things out of the ground.
okay.
So,
All
thank
right,
you.
very good, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That person didn't come at 7:30.
Nope.
Well, they thought they could.
They have been in to talk to Matt, so I don't know.
What did they want to do with that land? I guess I missed that.
That was
email.
This was.
There's a
Upland
proposed
Street?
dog
Yeah.
park.
Yeah, they
Oh,
wanted to put a
dog-
dog
That's
park.
right, that's right, that's right,
Butters
okay, I
are-
didn't know what they wanted to do with it, yes.
That's off the table
Upland
now,
Street,
right?
right?
Dog park. But they want to
Still talking
preserve
about
it
Upland
in
Street.
perpetuity as it is.
Oh, that's what they wanted.
That was,
Try
they want
that.
to bring it up again?
Yes. So I'm-
Turned down. It was postponed
No,
definitely.
don't
wasn't it?
So they not put it
Well,
down?
since you're not even talking about dog park anymore, they
I
just
actually
wanted
do
now
remember
to
having
have
one.
the conservation.
Part of that is a
Restriction.
donation to the
Right.
town.
No, put them on.
Put on.
Put 'em on it, yeah.
Part of that was
Give them
gonna
a
be
bit, right.
That's why Susan Ward.
Good night, Glenn.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very much
We'll wait till we discuss the
interested in
letter.
keeping it.
We are discussing.
Can I see the amendment language, please? It might be,
Where these people come.
Could you pass that over?
Yeah, I'm better at reading, and it's just so long.
Had these two sent me just so I could
Should have had it easy.
Okay.
try to get that.
Probably got so much for it.
I think she's nice.
He has,
Because they didn't come
doing it there.
Because it was speak.
Flashlight.
Yeah,
I know, it's not fun.
okay, so we're almost done, folks. So,
Okay.
with respect to the amendment to the 2011 order of conditions, is there a motion?
Where are we on? Sorry, I mixed that.
This is for Faith Avenue.
Okay.
This is in relation to Mr. Kravosky's issue.
Are you happy with the way the motion is?
Amending the existing order of conditions to correct the,
No, amending it.
yeah.
Yeah, amending the order of conditions that was issued in 2011 to incorporate or to allow for inaccuracies that were contained in that order of conditions based on then existing plans and calculations that were submitted to the Conservation Commission.
Okay.
How'd you like
I'm
that?
not going there, yeah, no.
He's been listening to Glenn too long.
Yeah, I can't,
That was very verbal.
there was a lot of words
All right.
that were
So,
going on.
first of all, is there a motion?
There's a
to amend?
motion, I think what he was saying is,
The motion can be very simple, to amend the 2011 order of conditions to eliminate wetland flags AA1 to AA9 and BA1 to BA5 on the grounds that the area or those lines were not a bordering vegetative wetland. And then the second one was to reduce the square footage of wetland creation by 2,169 square feet, which is equivalent to the failed replication area at the property.
Okay.
I second
Yeah, I'll
that.
second it. I was just gonna say,
Okay.
thank you.
Make the motion.
Plan to order.
Make the motion that we accept.
Okay,
Let me, can-
If I can read it, I'm better at reading
All
and
right.
being able to formulate. I can't.
okay, that's fine. And WF's are wetland flags.
yep,
Okay.
gotcha, I text. All
And
right,
it's the 2011 order of conditions.
okay.
So say, so it's an amendment to the 2011 order of conditions.
Okay.
with
I
that.
move that we amend the Faith Ave 2011 Order of Conditions, eliminating wetland flags AA1 to AA9 and BA1 to BA5. As the bordering vegetated wetland didn't require the hydrology. And also, in the order conditions, reduce the square footage of the wetland creation by 2,169 square feet, as the footage does not meet the performance standards under 310 CMR 10.554B, and was not proposed to be created due to lost wetland, but as created wetlands adjacent to proposed bank.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, vote. Thank you.
Okay, so did you want me to,
No,
or just,
I'm gonna draft that.
okay,
All right, so give me the amended, have everyone sign it, and I'll put in the language.
okay, and then you'll get it back to me, because I
Of
have to
course.
scan everything?
Yes.
Okay,
I'll email it to you, how's that?
that's wonderful,
Okay?
okay. So I'll give you these two documents too that he had emailed me
Sure.
with this, so I'll just have it all together.
Okay.
Nice job.
Thanks. I can do it when I read it. I can't.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, again, it was right there in front of me, so it's pretty easy. All right.
Sheila, you're on all day tomorrow?
Yes,
Okay, I'll get it to you tomorrow.
okay,
Actually, hold on,
all
just get
right,
that to you.
so,
Okay, thank you.
yeah,
Um,
thank you.
And I think, unless anyone has a strong objection, I'm as inclined just to reserve the meeting minutes for November 16th to our meeting in January.
Perfect.
I figured you wouldn't mind. And then, actually, the last item is this whole issue of permitting water use or removal by contractors. And so, originally, I wanted Mr. Coyle and Mr. Smith to attend. Apparently, the message was they were support to provide input instead of attending tonight, which is unfortunate. But in any event, we did receive an email from Mr. Coyle. I'll just read it to you. It's directed to Sheila. It says, "Hi Sheila, I would recommend not issuing a permit for commercial use of the town's water resources. I believe this would be a very difficult process to regulate and monitor. The potential environmental impact and residents' concerns would outweigh any potential compensation generated by permit fees." So that's from the director of DPW. I have not, I don't know if Mr. Smith had an opportunity to submit any comments, but I have not heard from him. My suggestion would be that we just continue the discussion on this generally to our meeting on January
I mean,
11th.
but I agree with that. Don't you guys have to do something with this TACC Realty LLC?
We do,
Yes.
and we're going to do that too.
And we have to kind of finish up that discussion if you want to for Upland, or continue that,
Well,
whatever.
first of all, it was a discussion. It's not a
Yeah.
public hearing.
Yeah,
It is almost 8 o'clock and no one is here
yeah.
to address it, so, and frankly, I don't think it has to be carried forward.
I don't
If
think so.
Ms. Lanico wishes to be on the agenda for the next meeting, she can contact you.
Okay.
All right,
Well, I thought they would have been here, unless I said they were in talking to Matt on several occasions, so I don't know if they got things straightened out through him.
I don't know.
Do you want to take the issued order, the 2011 that was issued for
Yes,
that?
please.
Okay. And then I just have to go to determination.
So this.
Okay, so with respect to 45 Sword Street, is there a motion?
Yeah, I wasn't here for any of that. I can't vote on it.
I make a motion
Yeah, that-
that we issue a positive determination of applicability, and we include the submitted WPA Form 2 that was, and verbatim include the, I'll read it, significant portions of the riverfront area on the site are degraded, including existing impervious areas in the outer riparian zone, which is outside of impervious areas but which lacks topsoil. All of these degraded areas are subject to redevelopment in accordance with the provisions of 310 CMR 10.585 and require the filing of notice of intent.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's a vote.
Thank you. Put it right in here. Okay. All right, we'll
So
just
we should
need to
positive
sign this determination, and I will check off that it's a positive.
Thank you.
Can you look at partition?
Yes.
There we go. We both have some handkerchiefs.
I got cut out a nail today and the dang snap came off. And I didn't think anybody would have a styptic pencil on handy, so.
No, we have one at
I
home.
I have a Band-Aid.
I usually have Band-Aids.
I have a Band-Aid.
Okay.
Band-Aid, yeah.
You have to put duct tape on it.
No blood.
No blood.
Would you do that?
No, just stick it out.
Is there anything else? Does anyone
Seems
have
like there
anything
is, but
else?
I can't, don't have anything.
6 Applebee, 680 enforcement.
Yeah, I sent that enforcement order out, didn't hear from them.
Okay.
So,
The 680 South Street?
yeah.
Is that the one you said? Okay.
And when are they supposed to come, to see us tonight?
Right,
Really?
hold on, let me see, I've got that
Yeah, what was this story?
enforcement order here somewhere.
Discussed it, yeah.
I have the enforcement order.
And
Just making sure, yeah.
But he did receive it, because I got the green card back,
Okay.
but no one's called or anything.
Okay.
Well,
So,
I'm curious as to what we asked them to do. Do we ask
There it
them
is,
to
right
come?
here. There it is, right here. Yeah. Okay. Yep, the restoration plan should be issued by today.
All right.
Removal of debris measures should be taken to prohibit this activity at the site. It didn't really ask him to come.
All right, and this was addressed to who?
Michael S.Z.A.B.O.
And where's he?
He is the manager of the Applebee's over there.
Okay. All right. Why don't we continue then, let's continue the Applebee's then to the next meeting on January 11th.
Okay. Let me see if I can, I don't mind stopping there, it's on my way home.
Well, I think between now and then, we can probably stop by, just, we can each casually stop by and take a look.
All
Get
right.
a sandwich.
That too. Is there anything else? If there isn't, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, a vote. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a very merry
Christmas.
holiday.
Merry Christmas.